It's March 13th, 2023. I am inside the United States of America with a Federal Reserve note with an ONE on the back of it, and the In God We Trust as part of We the People. There's Jackson, and then there's the White House. One of the local magazines is Queen's Property with the iconic, it's on Long Island inside of New York State. I'm speaking from state of the art at the moment. Then there's Scout Life this month, just for time and space in lining up whatever's going on in the whatever, which I don't have control over. We're in this. So my son, again, I don't know how valuable our information is. I just don't know how to get it to the appropriate party in God We Trust from a we the people perspective, especially with what's gone on in my time here. I preface it like, again, I grew up with Glenway Monday through Friday and on Saturday, and then Sunday was John and St. John's Day, so on Sunday. So for that, like, in God We Trust circle of life. So that seems to have like this NASA feel to it because they're the only space agency I've ever heard of. And I haven't even heard of like a lot of them. It's there in the background. Like, just like there's leaves on a tree. Like, what's the significance? I really don't know what they do. I mean, again, they never invited me into that club, but like, whatever. They exist. So, as does the White House, and as does Albany for the state of New York and the 48 states, and then the bi-coastals with the two different oceans that we're landlocked between. So, that just prefaces, and then there's this new thing going on in the local area. When my parents had me here, when they brought me home from the hospital, again, like, I'm going to speak at an IPS, like an interplanetary service level, hidden well into the Federal Reserve of the United States of America, so as not to agitate the cosmic nursery from elsewhere. Just interior only. When I arrived to diversity. It was not a perfect system. And then they moved me out of the diverse situation, because I was getting bullied, things were missing at school. I did not know how, like, they were very rough. And again, I'm RH sensitive, so it's whatever and the whatever. But that was 1978. That's like HCGH should know at 1978. That's what I arrived to. And then they moved me to Long Island to a much more gentle situation, like a lady should have access to, like that kind of handling, especially like one who wanted to get married to somebody nice and have a nice life and have children. And I just knew that was what I was built for. But here we are. Nothing went right. That's my astrological Leo, like astro, logic, Leo, 3 words. My mother is an astrologic Taurus. And then for some reason, life handed me to Taurus, and it is just the entire logical programming looks off. And I'm trying how to say it nicely without accepting responsibility, but with kind of, sort of, but not really. So this way I can move around and on from this. But Now I'm back in Queens, and we're Queens that looks like this. And when I say that there's red flags on the field, I really mean that, in the sense of um, there's something going on inside the specific MS number that my son is in at the moment. Um, Not with like I don't know what this is going to mean for the rest of his life. Like, if I had money and I could get out of here, I would. But that's not how it's working at the moment. So it is stuck and trapped, not only with a Taurus from 1975 and then my mother, but then there's this, and I'm still logic program Leo in astrological terms. So, like, sometimes the computing with them does not work. Um, and that's just the nice way of saying it. Um, a condition, we'll call it, I've been dealing with since I arrived in 1978, but it's only gotten worse through maturation and then being like, ugh, with the Taurus. Oh, God. So here we are in, now my son is in the school, and there's this thing going on, and it has to do with a water bottle. Um, this water bottle, like, my mom bought him a water bottle. It was like a $30 water bottle, and then it disappeared. And then she bought him a replacement bottle and said, really, be really careful with it. And now it got stolen. And I'm wondering, are, like, Tiafrio tells me, like, things I like in the community I grew up in. I think of Sarah Vermillion and her father and their Lloyd Harbor estate, and then I think of Nick Saccafico. I think of, who I think is dead now, and then I think of like some of the places I've been. I know Russo's still around, but like some of the like really amazing people I've been around. And I'm just, I'm amongst a crew of people that I did not paint my life this way. This is like some, it feels like some kind of an operation that I really don't want to be part of. But here we are I have really not in control of anything in my life, it feels like. So he has been to prison before, which I never thought, like, and again, that's why I call it toilet paper 51515. It's like an SOS, like, blink twice if you're not okay. Like, yeah, well, I mean, like, who am I speaking to? Because it's like, I'm not okay. I haven't been okay since he arrived, but it's nobody's been here to help me. So what am I to do? So he tells my son that, like, the first day you go to prison, like, the gangs, they mess with you to see what you're made of and to see what you do. And I'm like, real, like, again, like, I didn't need that level of scoutmaster. Like, I was more than happy being just artisanal and having whatever. So so now I'm back in this really crappy situation where, when I was here in 1995, 96, they already told me there was no club for me, which I don't even know what that means. Um, but, like, put it on my Federal Reserve note, like, mention. Um, and so and my son's like, well, why my water bottle? And of course, I'm thinking, after Anthony said something, I'm like thinking, red flags. Oh, there really is a place in the world for, like, how to use that language. Like, are they trying to send my son a message? Because I got out of the car today. My dad took me to lunch. And I got out of the car, and hanging from a wire is a naked doll, and then a shoe, one shoe, not two, but one shoe, hanging from her torso, just dangling there at the intersection. And I'm thinking to myself, and I told my father took a photo of it. I'm like, now that's a message. But again, so we went to wherever we went. We took a photo of it. I put it up on Facebook because, I mean, again, at the In God We Trust, between God 1, 2, and then I don't know how to partition the rest of that, especially it's Task Force Mark, Special Task Force Mark, Dollhouse. I'm in a US dollar system. It seems kind of important. Um, so they're stealing his water bottle. I got a text message from one concerned dad in the district. Again, he's got something else going on. Like, I'm already sensitive, so like I'm real careful like what details are needed here, but like he's got a microphone system and like a future like microphone that I don't know, but I know what my son's got going on, so I'm like, cuz he's mine, and so I'm just like, how does one tactfully make a personal note and then keep oneself safe? Because the dad was like, has anything been stolen from Anthony? And I'm like, yeah, his phone and his water bottle, but they gave back his cell phone. Water bottles just disappeared. And then something else that they stole from him, his sweatshirt went missing. So, but again, these red flags seem really valuable and really important in our time here, which also has had no compensation whatsoever. Um, and of course, I've been manhandled or like roughhoused by whatever piece of shit is working inside, call it what it is, inside the Northern American security apparatus. I mean, to put your hands on me, to put me into a hospital, you had no right to write any paper. I really think that they should be executed personally, whoever was responsible for that. But here we are I'm having trouble in the local area. So I'm just going to make a note of it. I have my local what's going on with some symbology since I'm in a 26 letter alphabet. This American standard for North American in the time that I've been here and the time my grandmother has spent and grandfather and my parents, for a long time, the standard has been 26 letter alphabet. And that's what is still currently here. So that's the standard. These are the symbols at the same time. That's the flag. And I showed the front face of the monetary system. I only showed you two of the whatever and the whatever, because it's cohesive with the rest of my video account of what's going on here. It's star 1978, star 8378, Nicole Cattaruzza. And again, like that stealing of the water bottle, my first thoughts were like, is that a naval signal? Because again, red flags being wherever they are, and knowing that I saw in 60 Minutes this, like they put out this story about the US Navy, and I don't know, again, is it to try to intimidate me, or like I don't want provocation, but like I don't know how to. Next Gen is in a school system, and outside of his like understanding of anything, um and still in this flag system, um as like I was grandfathered into and he's into, um it is this real concerning whatever in the airspace anchors on the broadcast are a problem microphone wise, and their passive aggressiveness, and now these new signatures, but like in these very coordinated and very fast acting, like attempts to grab and seize power. Which again, this morning they put up, which is also on my Facebook, about the this HIV campaign that they're starting back up again with red ribbons. I don't know if that's who's funding them. I have no idea. And so, but they're talking about, like this drug therapy of Descovy and Truvada, and it's through FDA. So, of course, there's some federal involvement in the drug therapy part of it. Um, and again, um, I leave that hanging there in the whatever, whatever, whatever at the moment. So it goes into the In God We Trust in the appropriate manner, since I was, as a child, astrologic Leo. I'm still astrologic Leo, and I'm still having a problem with astrologic Taurus. And that's Taurus in astrological signs in the birthing calendar. It's star 1978, star 8378, Nicole Cattaruzza. It's Earth, solar system, Milky Way, universe, galaxy is broken. And it's Bayside Station, Bayside, New York, 11361.